مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So in continuing with Bulugh al-Maram on hadith number 15, where it mentions وعن أم سلمة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الذي يشرب في إناء الفضة إنما يجرجر في بطنه نار جهنم متفق عليه. So it mentions in this hadith that is in both Bukhari and Muslim that the one who drinks in a silver utensil is only swallowing the fire of hell in his stomach. Also was mentioned in the following hadith, وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دبغ الإهاب فقد طهر أخرجه Muslim, where he mentions when the animal has been tanned, then it becomes pure, is purified. And was mentioned in the Arba أيما إهاب دبغ, any skin of an animal is purified if it's tanned. And in the last hadith that's mentioned of this section, وعن سلمة ابن المحبق رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم دباغ جلود الميتة طهورها صححه ابن حبان. Tanning the skin of the dead animal is purifying it. So the first hadith that's mentioned regarding drinking from a silver utensil, the fact that it mentions a person who drinks from a silver vessel is swallowing hellfire in their stomach, even though only silver is mentioned, al-fiddat alladhi dhukirat fil hadith, al-dhahab min bab al-awla. If silver is mentioned, then gold comes before this. Sometimes you have yani dhikrul adna, sometimes the lowest thing is mentioned that refers back to that which is greater than this. So the greater prohibition comes in gold. So even though gold is not mentioned in the hadith, it is based by default something that is prohibited. So just as it's been prohibited to drink from silver, then gold is a priority in prohibition. As what was mentioned last time, regarding the prohibition of gold and silver in this life for the believers, and it was for the kuffar in this life, i.e. it's not as a means, it's for them, i.e. they have taken it in exchange of having it in the hereafter. Now as for the believers, then they leave off these things in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing that it's for them when? في حياة الآخرة, in the life of the hereafter. Also, was mentioned by Shaykh Uthaymeen rahimahullah, فَكُلُّ شَرْبَةٍ يَتَجَرَّعُهَا فَإِنَّهَا عَذَابٌ لَهُ فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمٍ. Every drink that they swallow from it, i.e. that silver utensil that they drink from it, is a punishment for them in the hellfire. So as much as they drink from the silver utensils is as much as they'll be punished in the hellfire. As taken when Allah mentions, إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. In Surah An-Nisa, verse number 10, where Allah mentions, indeed those who consume the wealth of the orphans unjustly, then they are only eating or consuming within their stomachs fire, and they'll be driven into Sa'ira, which is a name of Jahannam, a blazing fire. So what's mentioned, هذان النوعان من المعادن, these types of metals are the two that has been prohibited to eat and drink from them. As for other than those two metals, then from that which Allah has created in the earth, then it's permissible and there's no problem with them. Was also mentioned, eating and drinking from these utensils of gold and silver is from the major sins. And this also includes the ones that are made out of copper and gold or silver plated. If they are, no.
Does that also include like stainless steel, for example?
La, stainless steel is not silver. That's hadeeth. Steel is okay, that's an exception. But let's say it was stainless steel and they gold plated it, they silver plated it, then it will take the ruling of gold and silver. No, I said, when I was mentioning copper, when they make it out of copper originally and then they gold plate it or silver plate it, then this is also impermissible. However, if it's just the color of it, but it's not gold or silver plated, but it's just the color, the same color, then it's fine. There's no problem with it. However, they say what's better is that a person leaves it, as people have bad thoughts of that person, thinking that, like, how much times does a person wear a watch, for example, a man? It's the color of gold, but it's not gold at all. But because it's the color, people assume you're wearing gold. So they have bad thoughts of you, thinking, why is this brother wearing gold or something? When it's not permissible, yet it's not actual gold. So they say it was better that a person doesn't give an excuse for people to have bad thoughts of them, and avoids it in totality. The next ahadith, they speak about tanning the skins of al-mayta, carcass meat, yani the dead meat, the dead animals. Was mentioned that the scholars are of difference regarding what is meant by al-mayta, yani the dead animal. فقال بعضهم كل ميتة من السباع أو مما يؤكل لحمه جعل الله دباغ تطهيرا له. All forms of animals, whether they're predatory animals or from that which the meat is eaten, their skins are made pure when they are tanned. And it mentions هذا قول قوي اختاره البخاري. This is a strong opinion that was chosen by Imam al-Bukhari. Also was mentioned وقيل المراد ميتة ما يؤكل لحمه خاصة لما ورد عند أحمد دباغ ما يؤكل لحمه طهوره أو كما ورد وهذا هو الراجح. So of the thing that's mentioned is that another thing that was said is that it is talking about the animals that their meat is eaten specifically, and they say that is the correct opinion. Of the thing that's to be remembered, like when we spoke about this previously, the carcass meat, the dead animal is najis, except for that which is fish and locust and human, okay? So that's why we're talking about purifying it by way of tanning, because it's najis, it's impure. Why do you think they mention skins in this chapter when we're talking about vessels? No.
Because they used to carry like water and like hides and stuff.
No. Because the skins were used to make vessels for water and the likes before. And maybe some places they still do. So that's why it was befitting to come in the chapter of Al-Anya, utensils. Now. Now, of the things that is discussed also, what about the bones of the dead animal? Is it pure or impure? And of the thing that's mentioned, the majority of the scholars say that it's not impure because there's no blood in it. Now, so you're not able to make it halal by spilling the blood. Now, so it's just like hair and the wool and that which is similar to that comes from the animal. But what's mentioned, majority of scholars said that it was impure. Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah says it's not impure because it's like wool and the hair and the likes, because the bone doesn't contain blood, so it's not something that is made halal because of life. It's not made lawful because of life, nor does it have any blood. So if the deceased thing doesn't have blood in it, then it is pure. It is pure. And that is the likeness of the bones. So what's mentioned, however, a person should wash that which is apparent of it because of its encounter with that which is impure. Because it's constantly encountering that which is, or touching that which is impure. However, as for the skins or the hides, if it's before it's been tanned, then it is najis, impure, because it's a part of the deceased, the carcass meat, the dead animal. So it's also prohibited. So one cannot benefit from it before it has been tanned. So what's mentioned, if it has been tanned in completely, then it is it becomes pure. So you're able to store water or milk and other than this like fat and other than this within those utensils.
Sorry, does that mean you can wear clothes that are made from real animal skins? Well, not skin, but
Like for example, you might have fur, real fur. There's no problem in that as long as it's been tanned properly. For example, some animals have fur. Some coats have fur on the hood and the likes. There's no problem in that because those things are not considered to be of the things that need to be purified. You see. But if it's skins, like for example, subhanAllah, I went to Zimbabwe when I was a child, and you could get shoes that were made out of elephant skin. They look like Clark's shoes, and they were made from elephant skin. Now,
Hello?
if it's tanned, no, it becomes pure. No,
Ustad, just to clarify, this is in regards to the meat that's eaten that's halal for us.
there's difference of opinion. You see, so you have those who say, regardless of whether it's from the meat that you can eat or not. No.
What's the stronger thing?
Allahu a'lam. Allahu ta'ala a'lam.
شنو سؤال هتاكل شنو؟ أستاذ
يعني الصح قال يعني لحم يؤكل منه أم لا الجلد هل كلها طاهر أم لا نعم so was mentioned Sheikh Uthaymeen also says that if it's from the meat that's not eaten, then it's not made pure with tannin. Now, it's not made pure from tannin. Wallahu a'lam. This needs further research. Because it mentions, for example, you have Imam Abu Hanifa and the Shafi'i are also of the opinion that is inclusive of that which is eaten and that which is not eaten. And it's also the opinion of Imam al-Bukhari. You see. So Allah Ta'ala alam, there's ikhtilaf between Ahl al-Ilm. Naam. And it's based on the fact that it says when it says the Sahib al-Sunan, أيما إهاب دبغ, any form of dead animal, just hide that has been tanned, then it is made pure. So they say that because that's general, that it includes all of them. Now, do you have a question? The reason why they have difference in this regard is because they say, for example, the meat that's eaten is only made impure. Make sure, don't give away my one, yeah? It's only made impure because it's dead. But as for the one that's not eaten, it says it's ayniyah, it's najasa ayniyah. It's a specific najasa because of the thing of it being khabith. So that is different. However, على أي حال اختلف أهل العلم, and the اختلاف between them is strong. So whatever a person feels most comfortable with, following the jamhur, you can follow the majority of scholars in that regard, then there's no problem in that. Because when it comes to al-qawl al-rajih, sometimes it goes back to that particular scholar, where it's not something you can say is universal. As though you have those who say the qawl al-rajih is that it is any of them. Now, also, because obviously they say like the skins of dogs and pig are not permitted to use because they are inherently impure. Now, so those ones would be avoided in totality.
أكرمك الله والحمار نفس الشيء.
Allahu alam. Allahu alam. But is this going to become min ma la yu'kal lahmuhu? No. The next hadith that's mentioned, وعن ميمونة رضي عنها قالت مر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بشاة يجرونها فقال لو أخذتم إهابها فقالوا إنها ميتة فقال يطهرها الماء والقرض أخرجه أبو داود والنسائي. So what's mentioned in this hadith, that the Prophet passed by a dead sheep which some people were dragging. He told them if you had taken his hide, it would be better. They said, it is dead. He said, water and the leaves of the acacia tree will purify it. I.e., in terms of that cleaning it and then tanning it would be a means for it to become purified. وعن أبي ثعلبة الخشني رضي عنه قال قلت يا رسول الله إن بأرض قوم أهل الكتاب أفنأكل في آنيتهم قال لا تأكلوا فيها إلا أن لا تجدوا غيرها فاغسلوها وكلوا فيها متفق عليه. So this hadith mentions that Abu Tha'laba was said to Prophet, we are in a land of the people of the book. Should we eat from their utensils? So he said, do not eat from them unless you don't find other than them. And if you don't find anything else, then wash them and then eat in them. Now, what do you think the reasoning behind washing them before eating in them would be?
Maybe because two reasons. Maybe because bacon, they eat bacon and the fat say, or maybe because they give the أكرمك الله the dog.
احتمال النجاسة.
احتمال نجاسة dog.
No, because there's a possibility of there being impurities therein. Naam, so you should always wash the utensils. And this includes the spoons, the knives, and the forks and the likes. Naam.
Water purifies. The water purifies.
Yes. Naam. Water would purify those utensils. So, like you find, for example, you go to a restaurant, sometimes they don't really wash things, they just steam it.
صح.
Naam. So you should, do a bit more. Kind of thing. Yeah. So, with this, you understand that Awla was preferred, and what comes first is that a person does not eat from the utensils of the kuffar. However, if you have no choice but to eat from those utensils, then you should wash them first. Now, and that is safer to making sure one stays away from all forms of impurities. One stays away from all forms of impurities. As you mentioned, if إلا أن تجدوا ألا تجدوا غيرها, if you don't find anything else, فاغسلوها, then wash them. وكلوا فيها, and eat from them. So initially you would wash it and then you would eat from it. Also, other thing that's mentioned in the next hadith, it says وعن عمران ibn حسين رضي عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال وأصحابه تودأوا من مزادة امرأة مشركة. Now it mentions here that the Prophet and his companions, and this hadith is agreed upon and extracted from a longer hadith, they performed wudu from an animal hide water container that belonged to a woman that was a mushrika from the people of shirk. And what's mentioned in this situation that in this situation there was usage of a utensil that was from the people of shirk, and that was because they were compelled to use water. There was a compulsion to use water when they were searching for water to be able to perform wudu from.
ما فهمت أستاذ.
يعني كانوا يعني اضطر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم واصحابه الى استعمال الماء.
أي ماء من وين؟ قلت ما أنا مشركة شو مسوي؟
يعني في اناء يعني
إيه؟
يعني الماء في الاناء.
زين وهي كانت مغتسلة شو مسوية في الماء هذا؟ بس
لا ما قلنا في اي شيء سويت يعني لا قلنا في مزادة يعني من مشركة، فهذا من الميتة. نعم الجلود جلد من ميتة. نعم.
فتوضأ منه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
تودأوا. نعم.
يعني حتى لو بس هو مدبوغ، أكيد مدبوغ. تقول هاي
لم يذكر في الحديث أنه مذبوح.
هو شنو مزاده؟ جرى شنو مزاده؟ ما زاده ولا مزاده اسم؟
اسم.
يعني عبارة عن شنو مزاده؟
مزداد يعني هو الإناء يعني من جلد الحيوان الميتة. نعم. فهو من حديث طويل. طيب في الشرح يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه تودأوا من هذه المزادة مع أن ذبائح المشركين حرام وجلودهم وجلود ذبائحهم إذا ذبحوا كجلود الميتة. It mentioned the sacrifice of the kuffar is haram. No, the mushrikeen, whatever they sacrifice is haram because they sacrifice it upon shirk. So also the skins of the sacrificed animals are also take the rule of the carcass meat, i.e. they're impure. They're impure. But what is mentioned, the mazada is a type of vessel that is made from two skins. So it forms a vessel that is used for water. Okay, they're brought together and it's used like just the way you look at the way you see a water bottle, the shape. So the way they store water in that, that's what that mazada is. And that is because the Prophet and his companions, they run out of water. Now, so when they came across this water now, it mentions al-mazada madbugha. The mazada is always madbugha, it's always tanned. So the reason why he mentions this hadith now, because even though it's not mentioned that it's tanned, that type of utensil would always be tanned. Al-ada dibagh mizada. Hada al-ada. So in that situation, because it's something tanned, it's become now pure. So the water, because if it wasn't pure, they would not have made wudu from it. Because you cannot make wudu from water that's not pure. You see, so that has no impact on the water. Had it been from a utensil that was impure, they would not have permitted, the person would not have permitted to make wudu from it. It would not have been permissible to make wudu from it. The last hadith of that bab that's mentioned, and Anas ibn Malik رضي الله عنه أن قدح النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم انكسر فاتخذ مكان الشعب من فضة أخرجه البخاري. So what's mentioned that the cup of the Prophet Muhammad was broken, so he fixed it with a silver wire at the crack, the place of the crack. So what's mentioned here, this hadith يدل على جواز استعمال الفضة ل يعني سلاح الكسر اليسير, to fix a small breaking in a utensil, دون الذهب, but not gold. So the permissibility of using silver to fix a small breaking of a utensil, but not the permissibility, it's not permissible to use gold. So that shows where there is some form of permissibility in that which is, generally speaking, haram. So if the utensil is from the sacrificed animals of the mushrikeen, but it's been tanned, then that shows by the tanning it has become pure. And if there's a breakage in a utensil and you repair the utensil with something small of silver, then that is also permissible. But as for using gold, then this is not allowed. As for using gold as a means, then this is not permissible. Now, so nor is it allowed to take these utensils out of gold and silver and use them for eating or drinking, nor are you allowed to repair utensils with gold. However, if it was necessary to repair the utensil with something of silver, then that's permissible, as was done with by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a small amount, not something that is a large amount. Next week we'll start the next chapter, which is Izalatul Najasa, matters regarding removing or cleansing impurities. Removing or cleansing impurities. Now.
أستاذ أنا عندي سؤال.
أي.
أقرأ حديث الشاة المجرورة. ممكن تعيدي الحديث الشرح لو سمحت ما فهمت أنا. لأن قال يطهرها القبر أو شيء.
لا because هم كانوا يجرونها.
إيه.
فقال خذ الجلد. نعم. قال الميتة. فهم ظنوا أن الميتة نجس.
إيه.
نعم ولكن قال يعني تأخذ الجلد للدبخ.
إيه.
فيكون طاهرا.
هم كانوا حيرمونها يعني.
نعم.
بس هو بالعربي ايش قال؟ الحديث بالعربي يقول الله يرضى عليك.
مر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بشاة يجرونها فقال لو أخذتم إيهابها فقالوا إنها ميتة قال يطهرها الماء والقرض. القرض بالضاء.
المقصود.
نعم هذا نوع من الأوراق من شجرة معينة. نعم أكاسيا tree.
إيهابها يأخذون بإيهابها يعني يجرونها برقبتها.
الجلد.
لا هم يأخذونها من إيهابها.
لو أخذتم إيهابها.
لو أخذتم إيهابها.
إيهابها يعني جلدها. No. So we'll stop there today, inshallah ta'ala, and continue next week. As of until you hear otherwise, but it seems like it will be the norm, the class will be upstairs, inshallah ta'ala. Obviously, it's not ideal, but the traffic when going back down to the sister's side and stuff, unavoidable, unfortunately. So maybe if when you're going down, you say, brother, can you wait, please? Sisters are coming through, kind of thing. Or you can wait, I'll clear the way now, inshallah. لا يعني طريق واحد للذهاب من المسجد ومع الرجال يكون مصيبة.
فهمت.
نعم.
فهمت انك بتبتدي تحط لنا حاجز بيننا